Okay, we are back, and this video is going to be pretty much just talking. I'm not going to do, I think I'm not going to do much in this video. We're just going to sit and watch the longest cutscene ever. Well, okay, it's not that long. I mean, I guess there have been longer, but it's probably going to go on for several minutes. I think it's going to dominate most of this video. So let's just go ahead and talk. So Grandma's here. We've just given her the heated soup, which we warmed over the fireplace here, or I guess in front of the fireplace, since there doesn't seem to be a place to actually put the soup on top of the fire. But anyway, we gave Grandma the soup, and hopefully she's feeling better now. Let's go ahead and talk to her.
If you would like to speak with me for a while, I would welcome your company. A person should never turn away a visitor, especially when she reaches the twilight of her life.
You can't help but feel a sense of finality in the old woman's words.
You must have something in return for your kindness. You do not need to risk your safety for an old, worn-out woman like myself. Look under the bed. You should find something to keep you a little warmer on a cold night like this.
Okay. So that wasn't the long... Well, okay, let's look under the bed.
It is a simple yet comfortably soft bed. It is covered by a decorated quilt.
Do I need to use the hand? Okay.
You peer under the bed and find a thick black cloak. Lying atop it is a beautiful ruby-encrusted ring. You pick both up with reverence.
I could not possibly take these fine things from you.
Oh, please. I want you to have them. Nights in Kolima are cold, believe me. As for the ring, well, perhaps it is better that I do not have it to remind me.
As you wish.
Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we've just acquired. So we got this cloak, or cape, or whatever.
The black cloak would fit a taller man than you.
Okay.
The ring is gold with an enormous red ruby. The word beloved is engraved inside the gold band.
So it seems to have been a wedding ring, or at least some kind of a, I don't know, maybe a promise ring or whatever. Obviously a ring meant for someone who is, well, beloved. Anyway, okay, so we got that, but we need to talk to Grandma we don't have to talk to her anymore, but we should, because there's a lot of backstory that we're still missing here. So let's go ahead.
You have a charming young granddaughter.
Grandma smiles at you graciously.
She is a treasure to me. I would do anything to ensure that no harm comes to her.
If I may inquire, what became of her parents?
Grandma frowns, and her eyes darken for a moment before she forces a melancholy smile to her face.
They were lost to us many years ago. I am afraid dear Possum never really knew her parents.
It must have been a daunting task raising the child by yourself, especially at your
At my age? I am certainly not as young as I used to be, and there is no shame in that. I have tried to raise her as best I could to keep her safe and well. However, I fear that as of late the reverse has become truer.
I find it amusing, and I think several of you found it amusing as well, the way Graham started that conversation. He said, his intonation when he said, "You have a charming young daughter." I mean, he just said that a little too enthusiastically, considering that Possum is you know, a child. Somebody said in the previous video, Graham, don't touch little girls. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to go through all the possible actions in the game to see the different messages that you get. But yeah, the way that Graham said that, "You have a charming daughter, oh my," was just a bit. That was just a bit much there, but that wasn't the big scene. I think.
If you please.
Yeah, this will be the big one.
The cloak and ring's origin.
The old woman closes her eyes as if the memory she seeks is painful to her senses.
They were my husband's. He was a proud man, the last of his line. His family had been rich, a great deal of old money, you might say. They lived in that castle you might have seen to the north. Its location upon that island is evidence of how much they valued their privacy. He was a good man, my husband. He took care of me. Certainly he had his strange habits. Most men do, if you would pardon me for saying so.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
I suspect that he practiced magic, so I could never catch him in the act. He would frequently journey afar, taking that black cloak with him wherever he went, to places he would not talk about. He said that it represented something important to a certain group of people, and that I was never to mention it to anyone. But he was always there for me, always, until that fateful night. We had been married just over a year, and I was heavy with child.
Du bist schwer in
We were
Ordnung.
both out walking in the weirwood forest late one night. The air was warm, and in our youth we paid little attention to the world and its many dangers. Besides, there was a full moon. We could see clearly enough. A shadow passed over us. We looked up, thinking it might have been a stray cloud. It was not. Descending upon us like a demon was the largest, most hideous bat I had ever seen. Its fangs were bared, and it dove straight for me. I must have screamed. My husband flung himself in front of me to protect me. He swung his arms about frantically in hopes of warding the horrid thing away. Perhaps he was trying to cast a spell, but could not recall how in his panic. It paid him no heed and would not be deterred. It swooped again and again relentlessly. At one point, my husband's hand must have clipped the bat's wing because it lost control and crashed into his shoulder. He tried to wrest the foul creature away, but then he shrieked suddenly. The horrid thing had bitten him. He never did recover from that incident. He just faded with each passing hour. Within 2 days of the attack, my husband had died. We buried him on his family's plantation on the island. Sometimes when I sleep, I can feel him watching over me, guarding me, protecting me. I think he is waiting for my time to come so we can be together always.
The old lady seems to be dozing off. You can barely hear her final words.
I miss him so.
Telling the story has clearly taken a great deal out of her. You watch the old woman a moment and notice her labored breathing as she sleeps. Despite the little girl's tireless daily efforts, perhaps there's nothing more to be done.
Okay, that wasn't as long as I thought. I guess when I first experienced it, it felt like it went on for something like 20 minutes, but okay, that was obviously significantly less than 20 minutes. Can we...
The elderly lady has fallen asleep. You have no desire to wake her.
Okay. I guess that's that. I think we're done here. So let's... Oh, another cutscene.
Sister Agatha, my dear, tell me you have good news.
The king has arrived in Kalima, father.
That is not what I meant.
Yes. Well, he appears to be quite resourceful. It seems his reputation was not totally exaggerated.
He's still alive?
For now, but that will change soon, I think. The king has discovered that one of the gems he seeks is in the possession of a colleague of ours. Do you remember? Kaldor.
Yes. Is he still trustworthy?
Totally. Still sharp, and there's no questioning his loyalty. My humblest apologies, father, but would it not have been simpler for you to have dealt with Graham personally?
Fool! Imagine the ensuing chaos where Daventry's king murdered in his own land. How then would I be able to search for the item?
I see.
Failure is not an option.
Understood, Father.
Keep me informed, preferably of good King Graham's death.
Okay, and we're back outside here after that little bit of pleasantry. Let's go ahead and save here, just because I don't want to have to go through all that again. In case something happens, I don't want to have to go through that whole thing again. So, I think they also used a filter for the grandma's voice, because remember we discussed before about Possum's voice, and how Possum's voice sounds really weird because even though she was voiced by an adult, I think they ran the voice through a filter to try to make it sound like she's, a kid. I think the grandmother's voice also had some kind of weird filter to make her sound older, because there's something kind of uncanny about her voice as well. Anyway, I guess we're done here. I guess the thing to do now is really just go to the castle. Go to that castle where we're supposed to go. So the way to get there is not as straightforward as in the original King's Quest II. In the original King's Quest II, you just have to find the poisoned lake, and the castle exists basically on the other side of that. But here, hold on, where's the how do I get to the place where it is? I think it's I think it's north from here. That's right, isn't it? Is it? No, it's I think it's just east from here, and then yeah, here we go. This is the poisoned lake. I think we haven't been here before, actually. Did we come here during the daytime? I don't think we did. So let's do this. I'll go ahead and save here. Graham, watch out! A poisonous lake!
You feel the poisonous waters seeping into your skin. Its potency takes effect immediately, and you perish within seconds.
Yeah. So, I think I commented before it's not realistic to die instantly from a snake bite, but perishing within seconds? I can see that, yeah. I mean, well, any time length can be measured in seconds, but anyway, so, like I said, in the original game, you pretty much just had to come here, and you would find that shrouded figure, the Charon, the boatman, waiting for you here. But here, in this game, it's a bit more tricky. So this is where this comes in.
You read the Bible page again. Seems every song ever sung waxes nostalgic.
So it starts off S-E-S-E-S. So south, east, south, east, south. Yeah, and obviously you can really get lost here if you... I mean, I think these just go on forever. There's not really any... In fact, does this one have...
You seems every song ever sung.
Okay, this particular poem doesn't have backtracking, but this poem is random. Every time you play the game, you get a different poem. So there are several possible paths depending on I mean, it's randomly chosen when you play the game. Sometimes it will be just complete going back and forth, like there will be NS right after each other. So you go north and then you go south again, which is obviously pointless in real life. If you go one step to the north and one step to the south, you're back where you started. So this game doesn't take place in what's the term, Euclidean geometry or whatever it's called. But anyway, so we've done SESES, so now it's WNWS. Okay, WNWS. So obviously, again, the N and the S should cancel each other out, so it should be possible just to go west twice. But no, you have to follow the directions. So WNW and then S. There we go. And somehow, after going south, that ended up taking us north. And here we are. We're here at the castle. And look who it is. It's the shrouded figure. I'll go ahead and save here. And we're going to go ahead and have a little chat with this fellow. Now, I don't want to freak any of you folks out, so just be warned, you do actually see a close-up of this guy's face when you start talking to him. It's just, I don't think it's meant to be a jump scare, and it's not that terrifying, but it did surprise me a little bit because, in the first game you never see his face. There's just this empty blackness there in his cloak, but here you'll actually see his face, and it's it's just if you're not expecting it, it's just a little like I was not expecting that. So just be prepared. It gets a little bit freaky, not extremely so, but
The shrouded ghoul looks very frightening. His hands are little more than claws, and his face is nearly completely hidden inside the hood of the shroud. He is standing in a small boat. No way.
Why not?
No way.
Come on, why not? Maybe I just want to shake his hand. Let's shake hands with the shrouded figure. All right.
Boatman, I need passage. I said...
I heard.
The ghoul's voice chills you to the bone. It speaks with a deep, resonating bitterness. You cannot make out a great deal of its face, but what you can see has the hairs on the back of your neck standing on end.
In life, I would row this boat for the master. Long ago was my untimely death in these waters, but still, I remember many things. Laughter, tears, joy, pain.
Obviously, this character has the most freaky voice in the entire game, but it's a little bit different here because it's supposed to be that way. So that's okay. It's fine when he's a creepy character who is supposed to be like that. It's something else entirely when a little girl sounds like she's speaking to you through some kind of trans-dimensional portal. Anyway.
May I cross, Sir Boatman?
You have come to raid the master's house. This I know, but care not about. You should be warned, though. The master is not what he once was. Never has this land known a kinder, more compassionate, and nobler ruler than he. But his fate has long since been decided. Down a dark path he now treads, and he feels naught for anyone nor anything, save for one other. And even that is a rare trait for a Nosferatu.
You freeze. Neither the Door of Destiny nor Neptune mention this count as being undead.
Yeah, actually, I kind of like this boatman. Once you get used to him, he's not too bad. He has a certain sense of honor and loyalty. We'll see that a little bit later. We don't just... It's not like in the first game where you just get in the boat and he rows you across and that's it. We'll have a couple more exchanges with him, and he's... for being a creepy undead boatman, he has, like I said, he has a certain sense of honor, which will manifest itself, I think, in a little bit. And yeah, it's pretty clear what he's talking about. He mentioned that the Count cares for only one other. That's obviously the old lady, because he was the husband of the old lady when she was young. When she was young, she was his wife. So he still cares about her, obviously, and that's kind of the... I kind of share that sentiment. I think a lot of people are that way. You don't really have a lot of friends. You just kind of have one significant other in your life, and you care a lot about them, but you don't really care too much about other people. I'm kind of... I have to be honest, I'm kind of that way as well. Maybe I'm a vampire. I don't know.
If I may ask, Sir Boatman, how did this swamp come to be here? Is it natural?
No, The ground you stand upon was once farming land and dwellings for the peasantry.
How did it come to be like this?
A score of years passed after the master died, and a great morass opened up, covering the surrounding land with slime and poisoned water. Once rich and fertile, now it is no longer.
The Count has caused this?
It is believed so, for why else would his own castle be spared?
Ah, thank you, Sir Boatman.
So on the one hand, it does seem quite cruel of the Count to basically lay waste to this entire land, to turn this once fertile farmland into just a poisonous swamp where nothing can grow and people die if they try to go there. But maybe he just wanted to be alone. Maybe he's just a very bitter old man, and he's kind of world weary and just tired of keeping company with other people, and just wants to have his privacy up there in his castle. And again, I can understand that too. I mean, it's not very social. It's kind of antisocial, but I can kind of identify with that sentiment as well at this stage of my life.
The boatman has nothing more to say.
Okay, can we get in the boat? I mean, we are supposed to get in the boat, and he is supposed to row us across. Can I get inside?
As you prepare to climb into the boatman extends his claw-like hand to you. Obviously, he no longer gives free rides.
Do I need to, Okay, we need to actually give him something. How did it go in the first game? In the first game, I think in the first game you put on the cloak. That's right, you put on the black cloak, and he thinks that you are Dracula because you're dressed like him, and so he just lets you get into the boat without having to pay anything. I don't think that's going to work in this game because the boatman is obviously very aware that we are not Dracula. Okay, I forget now. Do we just... I assume we can just give him some treasure. I mean, we can give him... Can we give him some of this gold? I don't know. Okay, well, let's... I'm going to end the video soon, but let me just go ahead and save here and just... let me just try giving him some things as fare and see what happens. So if I try to give him, for example, one of these gems that we need for the door.
The boatman does not consider that a form of payment.
Really? I think those gems are pretty valuable, but it doesn't matter. I mean, we would have lost the game as soon as we gave it away anyway, because we need those 3 gems to finish the game. What about this? Here's this brooch here. Would you take that?
The boatman accepts your payment and motions for you to climb into the boat.
He took it, but I think I lost a point. So that's...
The shrouded ghoul paddles across the toxic lake to the shore on the other side.
Okay, and here we are on the other side, and there's the castle just up there. Hold on, let me just see. I lost a point for giving him that, so I assume I'm not supposed to give him that. I assume I'm probably not supposed to give him my sword either.
How canst thou kill that which is already dead?
Maybe I wanted to give him my sword as payment for getting across. What about this emerald? I don't think...
The boatman does not...
Okay. He won't take the emerald. Will he take the ring? I doubt it.
The boatman...
Yeah. Okay, I guess I have to give him the gold then?
The boatman accepts your payment and motions for you to climb into the boat.
And I got a point for giving him that, so I'm going to assume that's what I'm supposed to give him.
Ghoul paddle.
All right, so we're supposed to give him one of these Daventry gold coins. I assume that's the correct thing to do, just based on the fact that we got a point for that. So, okay, I'll do that next time. So, yeah, this has been more of King's Quest II. Hope you've enjoyed, folks. Like I said, it is getting a little more creepy, but I don't think it's going to get any more creepy or disturbing than what we've already seen. So, we're not going into major creep out territory. We're just, it's getting, it is getting a bit darker. It is getting a little bit more macabre as we get closer to the end of the game. So, anyway, That was all. Thanks for watching, everyone. I will catch you folks on the flip-flop. Until then, ta-ta for now.